What's up, guys? Luke McGuire here. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I might even try change location a little bit here and make it a bit brighter. Because again, as many of you know, I just moved house and I'm still trying to figure out my life in it because I'm not very good at moving, let alone finding good lighting positions. But in saying that, before we get started, you can see that nice stain on the roof just there. Had some friends stay over on the weekend down up from Melbourne. What actually happened, they were using the shower for too long and then the water ended up leaking through the roof, which is ridiculous because this place is not the cheapest place to live. And we found out that the grout in the actual shower itself had come out at the back of the shower, so it was just leaking straight down through the shower to the roof here. Which is ridiculous. So we're going to have to get that fixed, but luckily insurance covers that. Hello, everyone. I can see all your comments and everything going on here now. So, yeah, I just want to talk to you guys about that because that's going to give you guys some massive value to make sure your grout in the shower is always going to be good so you don't have to go through this process like I have to do now. What else has been happening in the past week? I finally really feel that I've started to settle into this new house here. I've got Simon Harries here. All of you know him. If you don't, he's my affiliate manager, one of the nicest guys in the industry as well. He flew out about 2 weeks ago to really hustle some work out here with me, get a lot of stuff done that I've been kind of putting on the back burner and to really start to turn up everything for you guys. One of those things being InstaFamous, which is my free influencer marketing tool I'm giving you all for free. We've had some big setbacks with that over the past couple of months. I was meant to give that to you guys 3 months ago, but I just wasn't happy where it was at, and I didn't want to give you guys anything that you could not use, and that wasn't going to be the best quality of work possible. Now, in saying that, I'm a very big believer in imperfect action, getting things out there, getting things done to a standard where it's acceptable, but for me, for this project, I really wanted this to be not perfect. Well, it'd be great if it was perfect, but I wanted it to be something that you guys log into and you instantly know exactly what's going on and you instantly can get some huge return on investment and you're getting it all for free. Martin says it sounds like an opera house in here with the echo, because if it does, I can go outside for you guys. You know, I should be using my headphones, but I'm just going to jump out here real quick. But again, don't worry, I'm not speaking for this entire webinar because we've got one of my very good friends back again from last week's webinar. Let me know if that sounds better for you guys. If it does, I'll stay out here. If not, I'll go back inside. It's better out here for you guys. I'll just keep talking for a minute. Yeah, cool. Everyone says better. Sounds good to me. So today on webinar, we've got Mike Crouch back here again. He has been the #1 teespring marketer in the world. He's done $1 million months. He is the master at print on demand. Just give me a 1 in the chat box here if you were on last week's webinar, and a number 2 if you were not on last week's webinar and you have no idea what print on demand is. You don't know anything about that yet. But there's quite a few ones here. Majority of ones. So most people were here last week. Well done for all of you. I appreciate you all checking that out. A lot of you saw the recording. For those that didn't, we went through print on demand, and we're going to, Mark here will recap that a little bit in today's webinar, but what we're going to be doing today is going a little bit deeper into some more strategies on print on demand. We're going to be going into some more of Mike's amazing pencil drawing skills. As you might have seen last week, he's the master at drawing things, unlike me. That looks like a 3-year-old's finger painting whenever I try to draw using an iPad or anything like that. We've got some question and answers we're going to be doing today. Anything you guys want to ask us about print on demand, especially Mike himself, because again, he's the master of print on demand. We went over briefly Mike's course, which is definitely, it's the only print on demand course I've actually ever seen in the world that actually gets people results. And really it was working in 2017 right now, because again, we all know things change very, very quickly. So we'll pop over that again. We'll give away some cash. I'll tell some bad jokes. Mike will do some amazing drawings. If you're excited for this, do a hashtag social profit hour for me right now. I'll hand it over to Mike in a minute, but I want to see you guys get all excited. Jump in there right now. And I know, Mike, I think we can extend the bonus from last week as well for this as well. So boom, well done, Deborah, Clark, Lauren, Wolfgang, David, Justin, Chris, Steve, Dawn. I could keep on going forever. Oh, there's always a good name I can never pronounce, and I always stop at it, but I'm going to give it a go. Panagiota? Mike, maybe you can give that a go after, but I apologize. I'm just going to call you Pana. Appreciate being on this. Dr. Liz, Terrace, Judith, Alexander. Very, very good, guys. Awesome. Appreciate you all to being here. And Pana says good try on the name. So in saying that, Mike, if you are here and you want to, actually, one last thing I want to do before I pass it over to Mike really, really quickly. I want to show you guys what I got in the mail yesterday, and I'm going to really do a lot of stuff with this now. So a lot of you guys know I love filming, and I'm probably going to give one of these away in the coming weeks on my YouTube channel. But I know a lot of you guys know that I love filming. I travel around a lot. And I bring this giant drone with me, this DJI drone, the big white ones that you see, 4K video, amazing drone. But I carry it in a special bag that I got, and the whole setup is like it costs a lot of money, and it's the biggest pain in the ass to carry around everywhere. DJI just sent me this in this tiny little box here. I'm going to show you. This is their new drone called the Spark. I think it's the first one in Australia. Look how small this little thing is. And this is going to do not as good a job as the giant one, but this has an amazing video out of this little thing here. So I'm probably going to I am going to give away one of these on my YouTube channel in the coming weeks. But more importantly, there's going to be a lot more fun videos coming out for you guys, because you know what I like to do, make marketing fun, make things fun for you guys. So I wanted to show you that. Because it makes me excited, and when I get excited, I normally do really cool things for free for everyone else around me. But in saying that, Mike, let's get this started. I'm going to hand it over to you right now, if you're there.
Hey, aloha, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great. He's he's in Hawaii, as I'm very, very jealous. There he is. I'll hand it over to you, Mike. I'll get my face off the screen for the minute, because I know my haircut and bad jokes and me looking all over the place can get a bit distracting. But there you go, Mark. I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Luke. I appreciate it. So aloha, everyone. So really excited to be teaching you this second week on what we're going to be covering is basically profitable strategies going into the second half of 2017. And it's going to be super exciting because it's not only going to apply to apparel, but it's going to apply to pretty much all sorts of e-com. And I'm actually fresh back from 2 separate masterminds that were each several $1,000s a piece. And I really, one of them is Don Wilson's, the owner of Gear Bubble, and the other one is Mark Ling, who actually had it here on Maui. Don's was in Las Vegas. And really what I wanted to do was distill down the best of that information, because it was literally tens of thousands of dollars spent traveling, going to the masterminds, you know, and kind of jumping through the hoops. But at the end of the day, you know, one of the best things that you can do is really just distill down that information so that you guys can get huge value from it, but you can do it right here on the webinar. And so, so I'm really excited to share that with you. And, you know, I always encourage people, like, don't be fooled by, you know, the webinar, like being on a webinar and maybe like free value isn't that great. I mean, I'm literally going to take the best of the best from, you know, Don's mastermind and Mark Ling's mastermind. These are all 8-figure earners in our industry, and basically break it down for you so that you can get that information pretty much right in the comfort of wherever you're watching this. And so I'm super excited to share that with you. We'll also have our advanced class that we'll be offering, which is called Apparel Academy Pro. We'll tell you a little bit about that at the end. But just for being here on the call, we're going to give you some amazing information that you can execute on right away. And we also have a bonus that was given from Scalable Press and Teechip Pro. So Scalable Press is a parent company for Teechip Pro. Teechip Pro actually just launched here. It was on March 3rd, so 3/3 of this year. They had their event here on Maui, and Luke was here for it. Ty Lopez's team was here for it. There was a lot of big players that were here for it, and basically, it really revolutionized if you guys were here last week, you kind of saw a little bit of it, but it really revolutionized kind of how we can sell print on demand, and they're actually the largest print on demand company in the country. They have they're doing several hundred million a year in sales, over $1 million a day. So I got to actually tour their print facility just a few weeks ago, and it was really neat to see like all the things that go into print on demand. I've sold hundreds of thousands of units, millions of dollars worth of shirts, and it was my first time actually being able to see exactly kind of how all the process works. And so anyway, without further ado, I'm super excited to share this stuff with you. Scalable Press is throwing in a huge bonus, and so let me throw that on the screen for you guys. There we go. And okay, so T-Chip already has the lowest prices for shirts right now, and this is for T-Chip Pro. And actually, I told a story last week, but basically I had the privilege of kind of knowing the inner workings of a deal that was going on with a print-on-demand company that ended up selling within a year and a half for $100 million. You may have seen it in the news. But I was very much at ground zero for when they started. I was actually #1 on Teespring when this company was starting, and so we were working together. And actually, some of the people involved with the deal were my friends from elementary school and middle school. And the reason I even came across T-Chip Pro was because their prices that they were offering to high-level sellers like myself were competitive with the deal that this company that ended up selling for $100 million was getting as their base cost. So think about that. Basically, I was like, wow, I can actually get the same deal that is being offered to this huge company that's coming in and like taking over a whole warehouse and is basically, ended up becoming a $100 million company. Scalable Press and T-Chip, because they've been so efficient at how they built the company, and that's why they are the largest print-on-demand company today, is because they were the first to build the software and the physical structure together. So like when Teespring started, they only had the software. So they didn't have the production element. They were actually outsourcing the stuff to local screen printing companies. Whereas Scalable Press built the technology and they own the actual factories. And so to put it into perspective, I mean, a lot of people know the name Teespring. T-Chip's smallest factory, and they have 4, soon to be 5 factories. The newest one's opening up in Dallas is 250,000 square feet. They have one in Indiana that's 200,000 square feet. Their smallest one in Fresno is 50,000 square feet, and that's the same size as Teespring's only factory. So if it kind of puts a little bit of the size into perspective, these guys are doing things at massive scale, and that's why they're able to have the best prices out there. So for just being on this call, you guys are actually going to get a $2 rebate off of their already very low prices on the standard tees. So right now the standard tees are $6, and that's printed any color. So you could have, white, blue, black, any color you want for the shirt, and unlimited colors on the design and unlimited gradients, meaning you could have the most detailed design in the world on the front that has, 10 or 20 different colors, and it's still going to be the same price. It's going to be $6 a shirt with a $2 rebate. And you're going to get this just for being on the training. And to take advantage of that, you just go to the link here. So I'll actually give everybody some time. If you're already on the last call and you did it already, you're good to go. But if you haven't, I would go ahead and do that right now. I'll give you guys like 20, 30 seconds to just jump over there, or maybe a minute to jump over there and sign up. But that's going to be good for you guys until July 19th. And then that rebate actually got extended for all of the Apparel Academy Pro members, so the ones that signed up for the course. That'll be extended for another 4 weeks. So that will go until August 16th. But just for you guys being on the call today, you'll have basically $4 tees, any color you want, unlimited colors on the design, and you'll be able to get those $4 tees on your T-Chip Pro account all the way through July 19th. So if you guys want to take a second now, I'll give it to you. You can go and sign up if you haven't already. The link's right there, pro.teachip.com/some other stuff you can plug in. And while you guys are doing that, I will just give you a little bit of a overview of kind of what we're going to talk about today and how it's going to be a little bit different from last time. So what I want to cover, like I said, is really um, what's the unifying factors that people are talking about right now between the different masterminds I went. So what's interesting is that, you know, I went out to Vegas. I went to Don Wilson's mastermind, super high level. He has one of the most well-known masterminds out there. It's about $5,000 a person. And then I came down to Mark Ling's mastermind right after that. It's in the same pricing ballpark. And I was meeting with the top people. So I always gravitate towards talking to the people that are doing, you know, 7-8 figures. You know, what's the common denominator? And what's always interesting is that everybody's usually on the same page. Like, usually the strategies that are working, and people are jumping on them, and the ones that are really doing big numbers are doing the same thing. And so what I want to do on this call is basically give you the blueprint for that, so you can see, okay, going into 2017, going into the second half of 2017, what do I need to do to really have maximum profitability in my business, and really give you a blueprint on that so that you can go and execute on it. And then in our Apparel Academy Pro class that we'll show you guys at the end, we do expand on that a little bit more. We go more into the actual step-by-step of how that's going to work. But we will give you an overview so you guys will know what's working. And this is, like I said, ubiquitous across both masterminds. All the guys that are doing 7 and 8 figures in e-commerce, whether it be t-shirts or products, are all following the same formula that I'm going to break down for you right now. And so it's pretty exciting stuff. I mean, it's like I said, it's basically, you know, the best of the best information, traveled from Las Vegas to Maui to, you know, make sure that we're up to date, and then bringing it to you live here on Luke McGuire's Profit Call. So hopefully you guys all got that signed up. If not, I'll put up the link again at the end. But if we're all ready to go, let's go ahead and jump into this. So let's talk about what's going on right now. So when we're jumping online, so I like to relate this to surfing, actually. And here, I'll put on my camera here real fast. And actually, right behind me is let's see if it's a little bit whited out. Oh, there you go. You can see the blue water there. So that's actually one of the best surf breaks on North Shore Maui. It's called Tavares, and it's actually right next to Hukipo, which is another one. And so there's often people, especially in the winter, coming out and surfing. That's our surf season. And Hank Rogers, who is the founder of Tetris, had something that he told me. He's actually based out of Honolulu. I work out of a co-working space that he's partners on. And he gave an analogy, and I really loved it, and I want to share it with you, and it's about tech. I mean, this guy's made hundreds of millions of dollars from Tetris, and he didn't even invent the thing. He actually just went to Japan and found it, and he has a very interesting story. But he relates being an entrepreneur to catching a wave. And there's big waves and medium waves and small waves that come in, and the first thing with surfing is that you have to pick your wave. It's wave selection. So you're out there, and you're kind of waiting to get a good one. And there's going to be big waves that come in. A big wave might be Facebook releasing their ad platform. If you guys remember when Google AdWords came out, you know, those are huge waves. And if you can jump on those, you know, that's awesome. But those are, you know, spread out. There aren't, you know, infinite number of those big waves coming in. You know, Apple iPhone, when they released their, you know, their ability to put apps in an app store, that was another one. But there's also kind of these more medium-sized waves along the way too. And a medium-sized wave could be something to the effect of, you know, different ad types that are being released on Facebook, like Facebook lead ads or Facebook Messenger ads, which we'll talk a little bit about. But these are things that if you can be an early adopter on, you can be very profitable with. And even though it might not be as big as catching Facebook in the very, very beginning, it's still very, very significant for your business. And it also applies to what you're doing on the product sales side. So what things are you doing to, you know, increase profitability? Because at the end of the day, we're going to have increased ad costs, which we're going to talk about. We're going to have increased competition. And so we need to be able to stay ahead of the curve so that we can remain profitable and be ahead of the game. And generally, we want to do it out of, you know, our own ability to really push the needle up, as opposed to out of necessity. necessity meaning that, you know, costs have gone up so high that you're, by out of necessity, you're trying to find ways to push the profit up. We'd rather be a little bit ahead of the curve. And so basically the end of the analogy is once you find that wave, you paddle, you paddle, you paddle, paddle. And with surfing, you basically have to get going at least the same speed of the wave or a little bit faster. And then after you do that, you can stand up on the board and then you're surfing. And then you're out there and you're catching the wave and you're really riding it and you're not necessarily using so much manual energy. And so what I want to do right now is for 2017 is really tee up what those waves are for you so that you guys can paddle and you can stand up on the board and you can get that momentum, because it's extremely important to you know, be on these early trends and be basically on the wave, because if the wave passes you, you have to wait for the next one. And so being up to date with this stuff is the way to go. And that's why learning via webinar and masterminds and that kind of thing is the only way to go, because you could never learn it through traditional education, because by the time it got to you through the traditional education process, it would already be obsolete and outdated. So that being said, here you saw the surf break. Let's jump back into the presentation. So like we talked about, Facebook, what's working against us? First thing is ad prices are going up. It's undoubtable. Second thing is competition is going up. Now, with this being said, don't think that Facebook is outdated by any means. I'm still friends with that person who sold his company for $100 million within about 18 months, and he still runs that company, and he would still even tell you at the $100 million company level that Facebook is still the best and cheapest traffic out there, period. And even at their level, they will always test on Facebook first, meaning that if it works on Facebook, it has a fighting chance of working on other platforms, other ad platforms, Google, YouTube, etc. If it doesn't work on Facebook, if they test it on Facebook first and it does not work, then they know they're going to have some issues, because the chances of it working on another platform are going to be much more challenging. And so we know that Facebook is still, you know, the best place to start for advertising, and really the foundation when it comes to our online advertising should be Facebook. But we do have these things working against us, ad prices and competition. And so what's going to end up happening if you don't increase your profitability, what happens? If the product cost is going up just a little bit there at the bottom, you can see if ad cost is rising a little bit more at a rapid rate than the product cost, and if our profit stays the same, a straight line across, what happens? It gets smaller and smaller and smaller over time until we get to that point where now we're making a move out of necessity. And we don't want to do that. We want to make moves now so that we can be ahead of the game. So that's really what we're going to talk about here, is being able to offset what's happening so that you guys can be maximum, or have maximum profitability. And the great thing about paid ads is if you can keep your profit margins there, you can scale. And that's what allows, like I did 1.3 million in my first month on Facebook selling shirts, was, you know, #1 on Teespring multiple months. And what allowed that is the ability to scale and to use paid ads. And that's what's going to be different than using free traffic, is paid traffic can scale. So you can scale it to the point that it's not profitable anymore. And sometimes that's a really big number. And so 2 ways that we can increase the amount of money that we're bringing in. So the first way, pretty obvious, we can increase our profits. So this means we're going to increase the amount of money that's coming in to the business, whether that be as a whole or on a per customer basis. We're going to increase the profits. And then the second way that we can combat is we can decrease the cost. So pretty basic economics here. I'm sure I didn't teach you guys anything new with this one, but it is good to look at it in the simplified form, because now if we can break it down to simplicity, which everything can be broken down into simplicity, we can start to solve the problem in a much more simple fashion. And so let's take a look at these individually. So and look at how we can increase our profits through these 2 ways of increasing sales and upsells and profits, and decreasing costs. So the first one here is going to be, how do we increase profits? So by increasing profits, it's going to look a little something like this. So we still have our product costs going up a little bit, ad costs going up a little bit more, but if we're able to increase profit along with it, then we can keep a steady amount of profit coming in over the years, and we can actually have a long-term business. And so that's kind of the outlook of what that is. So to increase profits, one of the key things that we want to do is upsell. And upsell can be a few different things. It can be digital, it can be physical, and also it can be one time or it can be reoccurring. So an example of a physical upsell, let's say if you're selling t-shirts, is you could sell another t-shirt, or you could sell the hoodie with the same design on it, or a mug with the same design, or a complementary design. On the recurring side, you could sell a t-shirt per month. So after someone buys the first shirt or maybe a free plus shipping item, they can go in and they can now purchase a shirt per month club that would maybe be like $19.95 a month. Or they could get a box subscription where they could get a whole box of stuff and you would set a price on that. And then the third one here would be some sort of a micro continuity membership, which would be, we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but you can actually have memberships to your stores. And I'll tell you that, like I said, at both of these masterminds I attended, the recurring model was absolutely the #1 most talked about thing when it comes to getting really profitable. The guys that were doing $1 million, $10 million in sales plus were all implementing recurring into their strategy, all of them. Now, some of them did it differently than others. So some had, like I said, a t-shirt per month. So they went from, you know, selling them a single item to now they get upsold to a $19.95 t-shirt per month. They get upsold to a box subscription, or they get upsold to a digital micro-continuity membership, which is basically, Costco would be an example of generally of like a digital micro-continuity membership, or even Amazon Prime. You're paying, micro-continuity just means it's a it's a generally small excuse me, it's a generally small membership amount every month that you can pay for features. So for Costco, you pay whatever it is for executive membership, $99 a year, and you get to go into their store. And other than the little card they give you, it's really a digitally delivered product, right? They're just putting your name in the system so that you can access it. Amazon Prime, you don't even get a card. It's just digitally delivered. You're getting, it's dealing with physical products, so you're still selling a digital service for your physical product business, but like with Amazon Prime, you're getting these extra benefits, and now you're paying a membership fee. The reason that's so important is because you actually build an income that's going to come into your business long term. And so that gives your business foundation, unlike being able to sell one time. And don't get me wrong, if you're starting off, you know, you can take this one step at a time. But the goal, again, is to get past that profitability point so that you have enough profit margin so you can pay your ad costs, you can pay your product costs, and you have a chunky margin there at the end. And so with adding these recurrings, what happens is if you turn off your business tomorrow, I mean, not completely turn it off, but if you turn off the advertising to your business, you still have those monthly subscriptions coming in. Now, these can be done through ClickFunnels, and we're not going to get into the entire strategy here on this call, but I do want to make you aware of it. And it is going to be in our Apparel Academy Pro class. We're going to take you step by step through how to actually do this recurring model. But like I said, this model is being used by everyone. I'm not even saying like 90%. I mean, it's probably more like 95 to 99% of the people that are really crushing it are using some form of this upsell model. Generally, the big guys are doing the recurring side. So keep that in mind, and let's kind of dive into each of these and look at it in a little bit more detail. So the first one we talked about is a physical one-time purchase. And so with T-Chip Pro, this is one of the things that they really put into their system that no one else has had before, is all of these upsell types that are built in automatically. So within Teach It Pro, you're going to have 5 different built-in upsells, meaning that when you sell a product, Facebook is going to touch them. I'm sorry, Teach It is going to touch them 5 additional times, selling them either the same design on a different piece of merchandise or upselling complementary merchandise within that same category. So this can be used on both the side of the traditional model, which is using Facebook advertising, and it can also be used on the agency model, which is going to be, you know, advertising to businesses, which we'll talk a little bit talk about more later. So you have 5 built-in upsells here, and I'll go through each of them with you so you can see. So when you log into pro.teachit.com and you're setting up your first campaign, you're going to see the ability to add all of these with basically just a couple clicks. The first one is a bimodal, I always forget how to say that, that shows the same design on different products. So what that means is it's like a little rotator that once you pick your initial product, it's going to show a rotator with that same design on different products that they can basically just click on one time and get those upsells on. So that's the first touch point. Second touch point is a shopping cart page. So it's going to show recommended items when they're in the shopping cart. It's going to show items that you recommend right there along with it. So that's the second touch point. Third touch point is after they place the order, they're going to see another modal with a limited time offer. So it's going to hit them one time in the beginning when they first add it, and then another time, that third one is going to be when they check out. The fourth one is going to be after they place an order, customers are going to receive an email. That's going to be a limited time offer. And then the fifth one is actually going to be inside their package. And T-Chip's the only company I know of doing this right now. And I actually was ahead of the curve on this one. I thought people should have been doing this months ago, but they were the first ones to actually execute on it, which is doing a packing slip that's going to show when they actually get their package, which what a perfect time. They get their package in the mail, they open it up, it looks beautiful, nice and soft, has a nice pretty design on it, and then boom, right in there, there's a packing slip that offers them an offer to, or a special offer to add on more items at a discount if you'd like. So pretty cool stuff. Those are going to be the 5 upsells, and those are ways right now getting in the game. Even if you're brand new, you don't have to go through any work to set this up. So this is all going to be built into Teach-It, and you can have all of this built in, whether you're doing it for yourself and doing a traditional Facebook model, or you're doing it for others as an agency model. It's going to work really well both ways. Now, physical recurring purchase. There's a couple main ones that I see people do. The first one is a t-shirt per month club or an item per month club. And this can be built in using either ClickFunnels or a new app that's coming out called Impulsely that my buddy Chase actually built. And basically, depending on what you're doing, if you're putting it on Shopify or if you're putting it on ClickFunnels, the idea here is that right after you go through the initial sales, whether it be a free plus shipping item or an initial t-shirt, you push them right to a t-shirt per month club that generally I see people doing around $19.95 per month. If you do a box subscription, I've seen the sweet spot go all the way up to $39.95 a month. You know, somewhere between $19 to $39.95 a month is kind of the sweet spot in there. And again, this is actually building substance for your business because, for example, like when I was selling $1 million a month on Teespring, that was a great business. However, as soon as that stops, what happens? I completely have zero. If I don't advertise anymore, I have zero income coming in. None, nothing. In the beginning, it was even worse because we didn't even have emails. They didn't even give us the emails back then. So it's like literally, if you stopped, you had, you know, not only could you not advertise or, you know, your advertisings were down, but now you don't even have the ability to email. This is basically a way to really balance your business model. So if you have subscription services built in here, you know, if you stop advertising, however many people are on that recurring subscription are going to stay there. Now, I mean, I was talking to guys that, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people on this call that are every bit as smart and every bit as talented as the guys I'm talking to, because these guys aren't like rocket scientists or anything. They're just go-getter type of guys that kind of see these basic strategies, and they take the days that is necessary to go in, you know, learn how to do this in ClickFunnels, learn how to do it on Impulsely, and they go do it. Now, this stuff will be in the Apparel Academy Pro course, so if you want to have our own detailed description with myself personally walking you through it, then go ahead and get the class. But this is the kind of thing where guys are scaling up to just crazy numbers, like 6-7 figures, very quickly, like within 2-3 months. And they're all doing it with the subscription service, because the way that you can crack the code on ads is if you can get the subscription to give you enough buffer where you can start to scale up ads more. Because if you have somebody come on month 1, they're on subscription. Now month 2 rolls around. Well, you have month 1 plus month 2 because it's subscription. And month 3 rolls around. Now you got month 3 plus 2 plus 1. And at a certain point, you hit that tipping point where now, you know, it's becoming profitable and you're able to really scale up your ads more because you have more money in the kitty to work with. And so this is super powerful. If you guys are getting into e-com, you cannot sleep on what's going on with the subscription model right now at all. And I'm actually the national ambassador for T-Chip, so I'm working with them directly. I go out and helping them with a number of things, but I'm like the point guy on the ground when it comes to T-Chip, which, like I said, is the largest print-on-demand company in the U.S. right now by a long shot. And I'm working with them to do some of this stuff. But until it rolls out on the T-Chip platform, like, you guys can still make a lot of money using T-Chip without this. My buddy Gil actually came back from the original Maui trip we had here on March 3rd, and he put up over $100,000 in sales in his first month. So you don't need this to be profitable, but if you're looking to this as a long-term business, you know, you're really looking to get away from the 9-to-5 and have something substantial, I very highly recommend that you know, keep this close to you. And again, if you want to learn it in detail, we'll be teaching it in the Apparel Academy Pro class in detail. So that's physical reoccurring purchase. The third one is going to be digital reoccurring purchase. Now, there could also be, I guess, digital one-time purchase, but I don't really see those at all. That's more like when you sell a class or stuff like that. That would be like a digital one-time purchase. But for physical products, it's generally recurring when it's digital. And so let's look at what a micro-continuity membership might offer. And so generally, this is what I see with micro-continuity. So this would be, there's a couple ways you could set this up. And again, this could be done in Impulsely, which is going to be coming out here in the next 30 days or so. It's also can be done on ClickFunnels, which is tried and true method that everybody's using. So the guys that are currently making, you know, 7-8 figures doing this, they're using ClickFunnels. But there will be other solutions coming out that are going to probably do, will definitely do as good of a job, probably do even a better job because of the different features. They're definitely going to be more user-friendly. ClickFunnels was just ahead of the game enough where they're stable now. So when you jump in and you start using a software for this kind of thing, you want it to be stable. I have a good buddy that released a software just a few months ago. He's a real well-known guy, but the software wasn't stable right away, and it caused some people some issues. So you want to definitely be using stable solutions, and that's always something we preach in our classes. But that being said, there's a couple ways you can structure this. So the first way would be you have your initial offer. Now, a lot of people do like a free offer in the beginning because it's the lowest friction point, right? So if I do a free plus shipping offer, it's very low friction to get people to purchase. Now, that being said, the free plus shipping offer without having recurring on the back of it is getting much harder. So you heard a lot about free plus shipping. People were really raving about it. Guys were making a lot of money just on free plus shipping last year, or even maybe early this year, with no upsells, no nothing, and you heard a lot about it. And then now it's really fizzled off, and again, it comes down to that competition factor and the ads cost factor. So the thing about free plus shipping is you have to sell so many, and if you're not getting the conversions cheap enough, you're going to end up losing money, you know, pretty much right out of the gate. And so And this is a way that you can kind of take the best of both worlds. You can have a free plus shipping offer on the front. I have a guy that does 8 figures a year, and he only does free plus shipping on the front, and he swears by it. And then from there, you can go a couple ways. You can go free plus shipping to an upsell, which could be, you know, a one-time purchase of a shirt. And then from that upsell, you could go into this micro continuity offer, which would be, you know, so it'd be like, buy this free plus shipping, buy this upsell item, first upsell. Second upsell is go ahead and get on with this micro continuity membership where we can offer some or all of these things listed, and I'll kind of go over with you what those are. Another option you can do is, you know, you can have a free plus shipping on the front item, and you can go from that into the micro continuity just right there. So you could just have one upsell. So you could say free plus shipping or whatever the item is, and then sell the micro continuity right there as the first upsell right there. Or a third way you could do it would be without micro continuity. You could do the physical product continuity. So you could do like free plus shipping or a product on the front end, and then upsell to a product, and then upsell to a monthly subscription of a physical product, which would, like I said, be more in the $19.95 to like $39 to $49.95 range if you're doing a whole box. But that's basically how it'd be set up. So you'd start it with a product or free plus shipping on the front. You'd roll that into either an initial upsell and then sell micro continuity, go directly to micro continuity as the first upsell and only upsell, or you can do one or two upsells where instead of ending on micro continuity, you can end on a physical product subscription. All of these options will be covered in Apparel Academy Pro, but it's good for you guys to know the structure because that's what people are using to make the big bucks. And it's extremely important because if you're not doing that, you're really leaving a lot of money on the table because these continuity products and micro continuity products are really setting the baseline of revenue and really actually giving you a real business at the end of the day. So here's some options for micro continuity. So remember, micro continuity is not a physical product, right? It's digital here. So what can we give people that we could charge, let's say $4.95 or $7.95 or $9.95 a month for, that is going to be worth their while? And so I listed some things here that people are using. Now, you don't have to do all of these, but you could kind of pick the best ones that you like and put them into a package and make it look pretty. But here's some examples: 10 to 20% off discount off all future purchases. So if your markup is, you know, 300%, it's definitely worth it for you to give 10 to 20% off all purchases for members because you're still going to make a profit off them. It's going to encourage them to come back to the site, and you're going to be making between $5 and $10 a month off them as a membership fee. So it's win-win-win for you, even offering them a 20% discount or even maybe 25 on the high end. Number two could be priority shipping. Now, this one you could work it some different ways. You could do some discounted shipping if they want to do priority. You know, you obviously want to build it in so that you can't lose money off of it. But if you run the numbers and you can offer them some priority shipping, that's a good one. Priority customer service, that's a great one because it doesn't really take a whole lot from you to, you know, make somebody priority. I mean, everybody should really be priority at the end of the day. So that's one you can put in there. Exclusive products are going to be products that you could release early or only to that list. So you can do like a monthly VIP letter there that I have at the bottom, and in that VIP newsletter you could have some exclusive products or some exclusive product deals that are only offered to those people. You can give them first access to new products or first access to clearance items. So they're getting kind of this VIP access. I wouldn't even call it first access. Maybe I'd call it like VIP access. You could give them a monthly sale that's only for VIP members. So once a month, you could do like a 50% off sale, something like that, if you have enough profit margin in your product. So once a month for this membership fee, they can get, you know, 40 or 50% off on a VIP sale. That's a really good one. And then we put priority customer service in there twice just because that's how important customer service is. If anybody's reached out to me, you know I'm big on customer service. I have my team always get back to you within about 12 hours at the most. So very important with that side of things no matter what. And let's see here. So we've talked about increasing profits and some ways that we can do that. So let's go ahead and switch gears right now into the other side of things, which is going to be dropping your cost, okay? So it's the other way that we can kind of combat things. So we have two sides of the cost model, right, that we looked at. We have product costs, and we have, all right, let me go back a second here. We have product costs, and we have advertising costs. And so for product costs, I'm not going to really get into detail on how you can decrease it, because that's more you kind of doing the groundwork to bring those product costs down. And I will be teaching a bit about it in Apparel Academy Pro, a strategy that I've used to really kind of, I use an app called Shopify app, and it basically plugs into AliExpress and a lot of other platforms for e-com. And so I will touch on that in the course of how I've basically worked out deals with companies where they drop the price for me. They give me a custom URL. And then what the app does is it makes everything automatic. So no matter what's in my store, it's going to ship automatically, and that discount's going to be applied every time. Another thing that you can do, like a quick tip, if any of you guys are selling on AliExpress, I would use an app like Shopify app, and I would get the code, the Alipay affiliate code, or just AliExpress affiliate code, and get that attached through Shopify app. And this is a really good tip. I mean, this will basically give you 8 to 9% cash back. And actually, for everybody signing up, so actually, let me go to this next link for anybody that's missed this. So we're giving you a $2 rebate on all the standard shirts on T-Chip. Like I said, T-Chip is already by far the lowest price. So this $2 rebate is going to drop the standard tees down to $4. And that's for any and all colors, unlimited color on your design. And just for being on this webinar, it's going to be from now until July 19th. And then if you end up getting on with the Apparel Academy Pro class, it extends for another 4 weeks after that. So it goes all the way until August 16th. But that being said, with everybody that's getting on to this link, what I'll do is I'll email you when this product comes out. And basically what it does, you can use Shopify app. If you haven't got it, you can go check that out. But there's another app coming out, and they give you the cash back on your purchase for any AliExpress stuff. So by using the affiliate code, you end up getting 8 to 9% back on everything that's sold on your store from the cost. So if you're selling an item that's like $100, but your cost is $30, they're going to give you 8 to 9% back on that 30. So you're going to get an additional, $3 or so back. So anybody that signs up on this link, I'll make sure that you get access to that. And I'll do my best to actually get you guys free access to it. I'm pretty positive I can. So, but definitely when you sign up with this link, you're going to get the $2 rebate on the standard tees, like I said, until July 19th. So if you haven't done that, go and do that now. This is actually the last page where this code is listed. So there's no other place in the presentation where you can get this code. So if you haven't gotten it yet, take it down now and go sign up for that. It's, like I said, doesn't cost you anything. It's no obligation. It's basically just if you want to get unlimited, like any tee you want, or not any tee, but any of the standard tees, the first item there that you can select any color you want, red, white, blue, green, and unlimited colors on the designs, and it's $4. So can't beat that. So anybody that hasn't done that, go ahead and take this URL down, and we'll go ahead and jump to the next one, which is going to be a way to reduce advertising costs. So this is a way you can reduce product costs. Like I said, for everybody on here, I'll also get you that software as soon as it comes out. It's probably going to be in the next few weeks. I'll make sure you get a copy of it, and also we'll get you the $2 rebate for now until July 19th. All right, guys, so let's talk about dropping advertising costs. Okay, so right now, if we talk about T-Chip, if we talk about Shopify, if we talk about any of these providers, what is the traditional model right now that everybody's using? You see the symbol right there in the center is Facebook. So generally, when people are doing e-commerce, whether it's T-shirts or products, there's about a third going to product cost, a third going to advertising, and then if we do everything right, we get a third profit on that. And so as far as with Facebook, you know, you can use some of these new ad types like Messenger and lead ads, especially. I would really look into to Messenger ads. They're really, really powerful. I mean, there's now 2 billion people on Facebook in the world. There's 1 billion on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. And Facebook Messenger, you can use this thing called ManyChat, and I'm going to be teaching this also in the Apparel Academy Pro class, so it's going to be packed. And I just actually taught this on Ty Lopez's live call. Let's see, was it yesterday? And basically, through Messenger and using this thing called ManyChat, it's ManyChat, you can access the 1 billion people on Messenger, and you can get them to opt in with basically a click and a confirmation. And after they've done that, you can access them all the time. And the open rates are staggering. So like if you're awesome at email, like if you're like a Luke McGuire and people love you and you're, you know, sending out emails, on the high end, you're going to get about 20% open rate on your emails. Messenger right now is doing 80 to 90% open rates. So take it from email being 20% up to 80+% on Messenger, with 4 to 10 times the click-through rates of traditional email. So that's a new ad strategy that just came out. It's hot off the presses. I have friends using it that are absolutely crushing it. I've been crushing it on lead ads, but I'm going to be jumping into Messenger. I've been playing with ManyChat a lot, and I really love it. And so we're going to be basically, I've already recorded all of the tests that I've done with my own company on ManyChat. And so in the Apparel Academy Pro, you're actually going to get a case study of me actually testing this stuff out. And I know it works because like I said, my good friend that's doing 8 figures, solid 8 figures a year, is just using it right now as his primary strategy. So there are different ways that we can, decrease the ad cost, and you look at some of these new strategies as they come out. And like I said, those are the medium-sized waves. So the big waves are like a new platform drops, Facebook ad platforms drops, the original iPhone drops with the App Store. But these medium-sized waves that we can catch are when these updates come up, and we can take advantage of these updates. And a big one right now for me has been lead ads, and another big one has been Messenger. And so I highly recommend you research them on your own. And if you end up jumping on with Apparel Academy Pro, we're going to go in depth into both of those strategies. But let's look at a little bit of a non-traditional model that we can do with T-Chip. And you'll see here, one of the best ways that we can actually lower the ad cost is if we completely eliminate it. So here in this agency model, we only have product cost and the rest is profit. And so how is that possible? Well, it's possible because instead of dealing with individuals, we should take a look at what does it look like to send from T-Chip directly to the agency, okay? And so let me show you a little bit about what that looks like. So we're going to look at an example where we can completely eliminate the ad cost entirely. And I know Luke's going to be super excited for this one because I'm going to be drawing.
That's what I want. I want to see this drawing skills. If you haven't seen Mike's drawing skills before, guys, you're in for a treat.
All right, so we're going to go very, 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 very in-depth into this in Apparel Academy Pro. If you guys were on the last call, you know that I met with someone in San Diego. Because remember, T-Chip Pro, which makes this strategy possible on the agency side, has only been around since March 3rd. And March 3rd, it was only released to a dozen people. It was like Luke McGuire, Ty Lopez's crew, some top marketers of guys that are doing in the hundreds of thousands per month. I mean, it was a very, very small group of people that were there. And Since then, the release has been, it's been very small as far as the amount of, what's the word, like, not small, I should say. Basically, there hasn't been enough time for people to really see the magnitude of what they can do with the program yet. And so this guy in San Diego was a guy that took it and ran with it. So he's been doing this for about 2 months, and he's doing about $20,000 a month. Plus he has, Mike, yep.
Sorry, Mike, one thing, just making sure you know you got 3% battery, just so you don't know.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
1 second.
So while Mike goes and gets his charger before you miss out on his beautiful drawing skills, I thought I'd let you guys know that. We've learned a lot today already, so remember there's always going to be the replay that you can follow up on all this information as well, which I'll send out later. But it looks like Mike's back now. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss out on him disappearing and doing a Batman when his computer died. So I hand it back to you now, Mike.
Nice. Yeah, we're sitting out here on the lanai, so we'll get the extension cord out here. But let's jump into it. We now have full power. So basically, what he's doing to create this income of about $20K a month right now that he's done within just 2 months of running with this is he's going and offering T-Chip services to agencies. And so when you go back in, and you guys will see this once you log into your accounts, but you'll see that there's the ability to do custom domains. And it's not really just a custom domain. It's actually a full service custom solution is really what it comes down to, because what they're offering is if you pay $50 a year, then you are going to get the domain name. So if you were doing this as an agency, for example, like I'm setting this up for a company out here called Fusion Fit. And so Fusion Fit is a gym here, and they sell a lot of apparel out of the gym, but if you know anything about gyms or yoga studios or restaurants, there's a whole host of these businesses that, and bars, he was selling quite a few bars in San Diego. If you know a lot about these businesses, they sell a lot of product out of their store while people are there, but they actually sell quite a bit online as well. And a lot of them will miss out on it because they don't have an easy solution to get it up and running, because there's moving parts. Like if a bar or a restaurant or a yoga studio wanted to add extra income to their business through selling shirts, it wouldn't really be adding extra income if it added a bunch of extra headache. And headache can come from things like customer service, them having to, pick up the phone if someone says, hey, I got a shirt, it was a medium, it was supposed to be a large, or I don't want it anymore, can you process the return? And if they don't have somebody set up to handle that at the restaurant, it's going to be, it's going to be pretty tough, and they're not going to want to do it. And so the reason that he's selling these things like hotcakes, and his rate right now is right around $500 setup. And so to hit 20 grand, easy math, you get 40 per month. But he's actually testing this because, again, this is a brand new strategy, and he's going to raise it to $997. And that's actually what I sold it for to the company out here. And then that way, if you wanted to hit that 20K, you'd only have to do about 20 per month, roughly. And so he's probably gonna switch into that too, from what he told me. But either way, I mean, companies want to jump on this because here's what happens: they get a custom domain. So, for example, if this gym is Fusion Fit, and they have their site, which is, fusionfit.com or whatever it is, you can just set up a new domain for them that could be like Fusion Fit Gear.com, and that's all set up automatically through T-Chip. And so what happens here with this domain is you set up the new domain, and they can put it on, hey, you can just go to fusionfitgear.com and check out all of our stuff. Now you have the power of T-Chip that's going to have about 20 different product offerings that they can have, everything from shirts to hoodies to mugs to cell phone cases to now they've released, onesies and hats. They have embroidery coming out very, very soon. They're going to have all kinds of sublimation, which you can do things, all the way down to like Christmas ornaments and all sorts of custom stuff that's currently in there and stuff that's also coming down the pipeline. So they get to access this huge product catalog, and they have the 5 upsell points that are built in. So now when someone goes to the store, it's not like, oh, it's just a simple store where they just go and buy. They're getting hit with 5 upsells, including the email upsell, including the pre-sell, the post-sell, the flyer that goes into the package with the goods itself that upsells them again. So they're getting all of that. And a huge one is they're getting custom customer service. And so what this means is when someone calls, instead of them answering the phone and saying T-Chip, they're going to say, hi there, it's Fusion Fit Gear. How can I help you? So it's going to route to T-Chip for $50 a year. They're going to do all your customer service. And this is something that he pitches to the bars, the restaurants, the yoga studios, the gyms, and says, hey, we're going to do all your customer service, phone customer service, email customer service. It's going to be branded for you, and it's only $9.97 to set it up, and you get the lowest prices in the industry. So you're literally giving them, very low prices. And actually what he's doing is he's adding on a residual here. So he's keeping the money himself. And what he's doing is basically made a sales sheet within Apparel Academy Pro. We have a sales sheet that's going to be in the 401 section of it, which is the last section. And it's going to have an actual sales sheet so you guys can go off and do this strategy, and it's plug and play. So you don't even need to come up with any of the graphics for this. We're going to have all the PDFs so that you guys can go and just start selling this stuff right away. But what he does is he does a $2 fee on top of it. So it's a $2 per tee or per shirt, or I'll just put item because there's stuff that's not even like mugs and here we'll go $2 per item. And then he does a $20 minimum. Per month. And then that also gives him money where if he wants, he can charge this renewal after a year, if he wants to charge the $50 a year, or he could just pull it out of his $20 minimum, because if he gets that for 12 months, that's going to be $240, and he can take $50 out of that and put that towards renewing their yearly subscription, or he could add it on and say, hey, it's $20 a month minimum plus every year to renew, it's $50. And so that's the model that he's using right now. And like I said, he's doing about 40 clients a month. And here's the best part. To set this stuff up, when you go into T-Chip Pro, it's wicked easy. So he's doing each of these stores that he's setting up. It takes him 20 to 30 minutes or less, because all he needs is a logo and a banner image, and that creates the custom store. But here's the cool part. That's not the extent of his offer. So this right here that he can charge anywhere from $500 to $997 setup fee, this is taking 20 to 30 minutes to do. So if you do the math on that, he's getting pretty good money. He's probably getting somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 an hour. Now, on top of that, he's building in residual, which we talked about. So now he has residual money coming in, right? And they're still getting an amazing cost because you're working with the best, biggest direct-to-garment printer out there. And on top of that, you're eliminating all the ad costs and that kind of thing. So you can offer them shirts for, you know, around $8 an item. You pay $6, and they give you $2, and that's still an incredibly low cost for being able to access a shirt that's any color they want, unlimited colors on the design. It's a great deal for them. And it's all automated, and they don't have to worry about it. It's literally like set it and forget it. But the other side of this too is that if you want to, you can get into more customization stuff. So, you know, if you wanted to set up packs of, you know, hey, we'll take, you know, we'll do 10 shirt designs, and you could even take designs that they have and just put them on, put them on different items. Or if you are creative and you want to get more into the design side, I mean, that's something that I did. You know, outsourcing designers on Upwork is relatively easy. You can set up packages for that. So you could say, hey, for 10 shirt designs, we'll set that up for you, and that's an additional $9.97. And they love that because it's plug and play. Like when it comes to a business, when you can go in and you can say, hey, I can increase the amount of money you're making. I can offer you a solution that's plug and play. We handle all of it. We set the name up. We have the gear. We have the fulfillment. So we're shipping it. We have the, you know, all this, you know, big facility backing us up. We have customer service that's branded for you. So whatever name you pick, you know, they're gonna answer it with that name. These guys are like, you know, frothing at the mouth and just buying on the spot because it's like when I was talking to him, I spent like a good couple hours with him down to San Diego. I actually went down there specifically. I was filming at the Fresno factory. If you guys pick up the Apparel Academy Pro class, you'll see I have some videos in there where I was actually filming at the factory. But I actually flew down to meet this guy because I heard the story, and it was a good friend of one of the owners of the company who actually used to work underneath him at a different company. And so he's like, yeah, you got to meet this guy. You know, this is what he's doing. It's crazy. And so I actually specifically flew down to San Diego just to meet with him. And it was awesome to see that he literally took this model and ran with it. And so what I've done for you in the, I mean, this is the basic layout, but in the Apparel Academy Pro class, I break this down very specifically all the way down into the forms that you want to use. So the PDFs, everything is done for you. So if you want to walk into a gym or walk into a yoga studio or walk into a restaurant or walk into a bar or any place that would need apparel services, you can basically just have these plug and play templates ready to go. You can slap your logo on them. You can leave them blank, however you want. They're going to look great either way. And you can basically have all the sales material you need to go ahead and sell this stuff. And so that is that. And let's see here. And so that's going to pretty much wrap up the presentation as far as the training goes. With Apparel Academy Pro, we've made a special offer for Luke's group here. And so we're going to be including everything that you see here. Plus, I know Luke has some special bonuses that he wants to throw in. I also have some extra stuff that I'm going to be throwing in on top of this. Some of it I mentioned. But let me just go through what you will get with the Apparel Academy Pro class if you want to jump on board. So if you want to go ahead and access it, it will be up for a limited time. It's going to be apparelacademypro.com. And again, I've taken the best of the guys that are doing 7 and 8 figures that I've got to sit down with personally, find out their strategies, and I'm literally holding absolutely nothing back. So it doesn't just apply to apparel. If you're in e-commerce, this is going to be just as powerful. In fact, you're going to want to know every angle of the game, especially when it comes to selling physical plus digital and learning some of these new strategies when it comes to Facebook. It's going to be really important for you. But these are all the things that are included. So I'm going to give you a warehouse walkthrough of the scalable press factory where you guys go see basically each step that goes into it so you understand the process. There's going to be a class in understanding design. So design is one of those things that is extremely important, and we want to have a framework so that we can, even if we're not a designer by trade, we can go in and we can build designs. And I actually gave an example, I believe on the last call. I may not have. I did it on Ty Lopez's call yesterday, but it was an emoji ad I ran, and just by me changing the symmetry of the ad, so nothing changed. The copy stayed the same. Everything stayed the same. I just changed the symmetry of these. It was an emoji app we were marketing, and so the emojis were kind of exploding out of the phone in the advertisement. And by changing that, we had a 1,000% change in the ad, and we were running thousands of dollars to this ad. And so it just shows you the power of design. I mean, literally just by changing the symmetry of how the emojis were exploding, resulted in over 1,000 times change in the cost per download. So we're going to get into design and show you the fundamentals you can follow even if you're not a designer. We have Facebook marketing fundamentals. We have advanced features that you can plug in with T-Chip. We have Canva and Photoshop tips and tricks that go back into design and things you can do to really make your design very polished even if you're not a designer. We're going to have advanced Facebook, it says book ads there, but it's advanced Facebook Messenger ads, and also advanced Facebook lead ads. We're going to cover both of those in detail. I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars a month right now using lead ads, and it is extremely powerful. And like I said, the messenger ads, I have friends that are doing 8 figures a month on the messenger ads, and I'm using their exact strategy and breaking that down for you and actually giving you a case study as I test it myself, and so you guys can see that and actually follow along. I'll show you guys how to properly scale up ads. So if you guys have ever had issues with scaling, I'll show you how we scale. So if you ever had an ad that was working and you tried to crank it up and it didn't work anymore, or it started not being profitable, we're going to be covering that in detail. We'll cover outsourcing for maximum efficiency. So how I use Upwork specifically, I've outsourced, a lot, and I've definitely learned a lot along the way. And so I'll give you my exact methodology for outsourcing, which is going to save you guys a lot of headache and a lot of money and a lot of time if you do outsource using Upwork or Craigslist for that matter. A lot of my most profitable people I brought on were actually using Craigslist outsourcing as well. So I'll cover that with you. Building designs at scale. So I'll talk to you about that. I'll actually show it to you in a 7-figure case study where you'll actually get to see how we sold in the 7 figures when it comes to apparel online. I'll show you guys niche store strategy and how you can set that up. I'll also show you guys how you can set up the agency store as well. So you'll be able to do the traditional model as well as the agency model. You'll be able to sell physical plus digital, which, like I said, is absolutely happening with all the top people right now. They're all doing physical. Not all, I should say, yeah, all the guys that are doing like in that high 7-8 figure range are mixing physical and digital products. And I'm going to get into that in great detail so that, like I said, even if you guys could do a fraction of what they're doing, you could be extremely successful with that model. Again, the agency model, done-for-you agency templates are going to be included. So if you want to go to those local businesses and sell, we'll have done-for-you templates inside the class. We'll having scaling up your agency. So I'll show you guys how you can actually scale up and build systems so that you don't have to handle all the work yourself. We'll do tying it all together for maximum profitability. We're just going to basically do a wrap-up of everything and then the final action steps for success so you guys can get off and start off being profitable right away, plus a 7-figure case study. And then I know also Luke had some bonuses he wanted to throw in as well. But if you guys want to jump in, again, the website there is Apparel Academy Pro, and you can jump on right now.
Exactly right. Yeah, so I'll go over my bonuses now if you want, Mike. But just before I do that, guys, this is the course you need to be a part of if you are into print on demand. Like, you will not learn from anyone better in the world than Mike himself. I actually asked him to create this course especially for my audience here for you guys. I asked him to organize a free, the best deal ever for the T-Chip as well, the free deal, the free bonus he gave you guys here today as well. I asked him to do 2 weeks of free training, and he just keeps on doing it and delivering and over-delivering and over-delivering and over-delivering. And this course here is absolutely no different. In fact, this course is the most in-depth course on print on demand, on what's working now in 2017. Like Mike was saying earlier, guys, it's all about catching the trends and riding the waves. And if you want to be on the wave of print on demand, this is where you need to go to. So you can literally go from having not much idea on how to do print on demand and wasting money on trying to do ads and trialing and error and playing Russian roulette with your business basically, to seeing exactly how it's done the right way of what's working right now, guys. And for everyone, actually, no, not for everyone. I'm going to limit this actually. For the first 20 people who jump on today or right now, guys, I am going to give you guys 6 months free of Insta Easy. And if you already have that tool already, let me know. I'll give you one of my other softwares. But this is the concept I was thinking of just then. Insta Easy is a tool that automates your engagements for Instagram, and I've stopped selling it. You can't even go and buy it right now. So I'm taking it to the higher ticket field, and I told everyone for ages that I'm going to be stopped selling it. I'm not going to sell it anymore. So I'm going to make it a higher ticket product. But everyone just waited. Well, not everyone. A lot of people waited and waited, and now people are trying to get in, but it's closed. But I'm going to give you guys 6 months free access if you jump in on this right now. And that automates the engagements of your Instagram account. So imagine this. Imagine you went in here and you're creating a shirt for, I don't know, a specific sports team or a specific star sign or whatever it might be. In Insta Easy, you just type in all the pages that relate to that specific niche. Say, for example, here in Australia, we have our state of origin, which is our big rugby football rivalry from between my state and the next state. I could type in our state of origin, Queenslanders, the Maroons, the specific player names, and my Instagram account's going to go out and engage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with those specific niches and the people in those niches by liking and following them on Instagram. People are like sheep. If I like 100 photos, 30% might come back and like mine. People will come back and like my photos. And if my page is directed around my store with a link to my actual T-Chip Pro store in my description, I'm going to start to get free traffic. So not only here are you going to be able to learn from Mike how he does his traffic and how he scales it up to make up $1 million campaigns, I'm going to give you guys a tool that's going to send you guys free traffic that you can use with T-Chip here itself, but you can use it with anything else that you're doing online marketing as well, whether it be getting email opt-ins, whether it's local business marketing. Like Mark was saying, you can go to a local business, you could offer them this as well. You could chuck them on, do their actual design and their clothing for their store, but you can also then say, let me do your Instagram marketing for 6 months as well and chuck their Instagram into Insta Easy, hit start, and it's set and forget. Guys, this is not going to be something I'm going to have open for a long time here with Mike. As you guys know, I give you guys offers every now and then. It's real scarcity. It's not going to be open forever. So if it's something you want to be a part of, now is the time to jump into it, and you'll get my bonus if you're in the first 20 people there. In terms of getting the bonuses, guys, I see some questions here. What you're going to need to do, what I'll do is once we close this up in the next probably a couple of days or so, I'm going to get their buyers list from Mike, and then I'll add you guys all in manually. Dawn, you got it last week. Awesome. I'm going to give it to you as well. You get the bonus there. Stephen, I will hold a position for you guys there if you can, if that is true there. Guys, if you have any questions, if you're on the fence, let me know what you're on the fence about right now, because I want to know what is stopping you making this decision right now. If you are looking for a business opportunity, you want an opportunity that costs you not much at all to start. Actually, once you know the training, starting a print-on-demand company costs very, very little at all. The thing that costs the most money in internet marketing is not having the information of how to get started the right way first. You can buy every cool software and little widget there is under the moon and plug in and everything like that. But if you don't have the strategy to connect them all, you're not going to be able to make a profitable business without wasting a lot of money first. And the great thing about courses like this, Mike is actually doing this right now, making profit right now, knows the ads to run right now, knows the campaigns that work right now, gives you the cheapest price possible on t-shirts right now, will get your product in front of the buyer's audience right away. The shipping is delivered by the company, not you. The upsells are delivered. Everything is done by the company. The support's done by the company at T-Chip. And it's all taught to you how to do this properly inside Apparel Academy Pro, guys. So if you have questions, let me know here, because again, I can see the actual spots for that bonus as well are going very, very quickly. Payment plan. There's a question here for a payment plan. So what we've done actually as well, there is a 3-pay option if you go to the link on the screen. I'm going to type it again in the chat box. You can go there. There is an actual 3-pay option. It is slightly more expensive, guys, but over the 3 months. But if you are on the fence right now, there's a 3-pay option of $397. So that'll get you started today. It will give you full access today I will include the bonus if you get to pick that up right now, because again, they are almost gone for Insta Easy, because I know a lot of people have been wanting to get back into that for quite some time now. But there is a 3 payment option there. So if the mindset of money is stopping you right now, which it shouldn't, if you should be looking at investing in yourself. If you can't afford the full amount right now, the 3-pay option of $397 is available. 1 payment now, 1 payment next month, 1 payment the following month after that, if you are on the fence. But again, if you're going to say, okay, I'm going to pick this up and I might just do 1 payment and not the next 2, don't do it, because you're not in the right mindset to make money. If you're in the mindset of, I'm going to try this and I'm then going to cancel, that's not the type of, you're not ready to be making money in this industry. You need to, I would sit back and I'd wait and I'd reevaluate what it is. I'm putting my webcam on, guys. I'm going to reevaluate what it is I want to get out of business and how actually invested I am into doing this full time. Guys, I told you when I got started on internet marketing, I sold my car. I sold my car. I had no car for 2 years and I went all in to actually, because there wasn't courses like this around. There wasn't courses on how to do internet marketing cheap. I had to pay over $20,000 to get the mentoring that taught me how to do internet marketing. But now there's courses like this. If you're interested on print on demand, if you don't have a business opportunity yet, print on demand is amazing, guys. Michael is, as I'm sure you can see, one of the most genuine, down-to-earth, straight-up people who lives the most beautiful life over in Maui in Hawaii. He's very contactable. He's someone who will be there for you. He's there constantly teaching you this training. The people he knows in the industry as well, the best of the best, guys. You'll find with the e-commerce and print on demand, very tight-knit group. They constantly share information with each other. And obviously Mike's sharing that on to you. As he said before, he went to Don Wilson's mastermind earlier last month. And these different masterminds cost tens of thousands of dollars usually to attend, and he can then pass that information on to you here. So for a small investment here, guys, you are going to get such a return on investment, not only with a business opportunity, but with information Mike learns along the way. So I want to see some questions here and see what, yeah.
And Luke, before you jump into the questions, I just wanted to add one thing, because you pretty much read my mind when it comes to, I was thinking about the masterminds and how, you know, they are very expensive. And I've literally taken everything from there, like the top stuff. And not only that, but because I generally gravitate towards the top 7-8 figure earners and they generally gravitate towards me, it's not only like you're at the mastermind, but you're getting a behind the scenes look at the top people. What are they talking about? And really, like, what is the cut and dry answer to being profitable in 2017. And honestly, if you were to be there, you would see that for the $5,000+ that people are paying to get there, if they can walk away with 1 or 2, literally 1 or 2 just actionable things that they can run with, they're super happy about it. And the reason is because it only takes one thing. Like when I started selling t-shirts and did over $1 million, I did just shy of $500,000 in net profit in 30 days. I mean, just that one strategy, having that knowledge was beyond worth it to me. Now, what we're doing in this class is doing the exact same thing, only for 2017. What are the 7- and 8-figure guys doing? If you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, how can you get in the game and do it? Especially if you're starting off or you haven't seen huge success yet. You know, we break it down by the numbers so that you guys can see it very clearly, distilled down to its simplest form like we talked about earlier, because no matter how complex the processes are, they honestly can be broken down into simplicity. And that's what I'm all about in this class, is literally breaking it down into simplicity. And I know we only have a few spots left coming in. I can see the sales coming in. So if you are interested in grabbing Luke's bonus, we only have a couple spots left for that. But I just wanted to add that in there because a lot of people, you know, you look at this page and there's, 16, 17 different things that you can get out of this. But I can guarantee you that in the class, I break it down into absolute simplicity. And you'll be able to take just one of these strategies, just the agency strategy with the done-for-you templates, or just the digital plus physical strategy where guys are doing 8 figures, mixing physical and digital using systems like ClickFunnels, or like I said, Impulsely is coming down the way that I'll get you guys a copy to. But just these single strategies will set you apart from the competition like bar none. And the main thing is that you need to get on with a trainer, whether it's Luke, whether it's myself, that you really trust, that's a real person, that's really done it. You know, usually you want someone that's actually, you know, gone out there and done whatever it is you're trying to accomplish and is not just teaching theory. You know, I've gone out there and sold millions of dollars worth of apparel and goods, and I can teach you how to do this stuff as good as anybody else. And the strategies that we have, like I said, are fresh off the presses. I mean, Don Wilson's mastermind was just last month. Mark Ling's was just last month. And there was 8-figure earners in there literally spilling the beans on what's working, including myself. And, you know, all this stuff is going to be in the class. And it will be going up. We're actually going to be launching this same class. Luke was the first to get it. As he mentioned, I built it specifically for him and Scalable Press. But we will be putting this out, and it will double in price. So it's going to be $19.97, and it'll be well worth it because, you know, just one of those masterminds is over $5,000, and you would have to fly out there and sit through a bunch of stuff that you probably wouldn't want to sit through just to get those little 1 or 2, 3 pieces of nugget information that's really going to make the difference and give you that ability to scale. With this, I've already distilled it down for you. I've already been to both of them. I've already literally spent time with only the top people there. I don't really, you know, my time is valuable, so I only really talk with guys that I feel like we can exchange information. And I'll spend time with people that are learning, but I'm obviously there to learn too, and so I want to get the best information and exchange it at the highest level. And in this class, I can give you my word that I've broken it down into simplicity, and it's only going to be the best information that's been, you know, working for people in 2017.
Exactly. And one thing I want to jump in there really quickly, because again, I think we have about 4 bonuses left if anyone's on the fence. But this is what I wanted to touch on again as well. You know, there's people here like Mike who's done $1 million months and whatnot. And for a lot of us, and even me a couple of years ago, I didn't think it was possible for me to be able to do that. And I heard people throwing these numbers around like 30 grand a month, 100 grand a month, $1 million a month. And I was like, it would just be great if I could add an extra $1,000 a week to my actual income on the side. How can I just add maybe a couple of $100 a week to my income on the side? It would make all the difference. Put a 1 in the box if that might be you, because I know for me, that's all I wanted to do initially, because again, the thought of 50 grand a month was just absolutely insane, right? And I didn't think it was something that I could do. Now I'm a big believer in not limiting your beliefs, but I know I personally was there in that actual space, and having the ability to just have a bit more money coming in every single week would have made the world of difference. And, you know, I think that's why a lot of us go out and buy a lot of these different new softwares and programs and tools and PDFs and all this fuzz that's everywhere. And that's what I try to stop my audience doing, my friends here, you guys, because I want to show you guys things that just simply work and things that can get you that initial extra $1,000 a week, extra couple of grand a month that can actually have you even potentially quit your jobs. Even though I know many of you might love your jobs, I like helping people quit their jobs. Now, the best way to be able just to add even $1,000 a week, which is a lot of money to add, but it's not that hard for the basics if you know the correct strategy in the area you are going. If you're an e-com, focus purely on e-com. Don't let the buzz of the rest of the world on, I don't know, something like local marketing affect you if you're doing e-com, right? You need to be taught by the best people in the specific area you're trying to learn from. If you do not have a business opportunity yet, or if you are in print on demand, Mike is the guy in this industry that I would want to be learning from. He's the one who actually invited me out to Maui just to learn about print on demand, and I learned so much. That's why we created this course. I saw how much money these guys are making, and I saw how hands-off it is for a total beginner to be able to do. It's very, very simple, but again, sometimes if you don't know what the simple strategies are to implement, it's really, really hard to get that outcome that you're wanting. You know, everyone looks at the outcome of all the money coming in, the guy with the Lamborghini. I look at it like an equation. So say the Lamborghini that everyone wants, so the extra $1,000 a week is C. No one actually sees what A plus B is. Then no one knows the formula behind it, and a lot of people don't teach those formulas because they don't want anyone else to make money. This course teaches you the formula to get the outcome that we all want to achieve. And again, you can take this as high or as low as you want, guys. But again, I'm not going to keep on rambling and keep on pushing this onto you guys. But if you are on the fence, put on the OTF and let me know what your question is right now. But guys, this is the course for print on demand. And if you want to be a part of it, there's 2 bonuses left. We're going to close this up here in a minute for you guys. There's a 3-pay option. If you're on the fence, jump into the 3-pay option if it's what you are into. If you're wanting to do print on demand, this is, again, is the course. I can't say anything further than that. I'm not going to show you guys a shiny object. You can see there's not some ridiculously long-winded sales page. You actually won't find this sales page on anyone else's marketing courses anywhere in the world right now because it's brand new just for you guys right now. The price is going up. The bonuses are going to be removed. Let me know the questions if you do have here. And then I'm sure if there's any other questions here, that Mike can answer them as well. Yes, if you picked this up last week when we touched on it, you will get the bonuses as well. Does Chi have personalization features? Yes, you can personalize, definitely. Mike, I'll ensure you get looked after there. So in saying that, guys, I'm going to put the link one more time in the chat box here. Then we're going to give away some money. Mike, do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap this up here?
Yep. Are you there?
Yeah.
Here, I'll turn my camera on here. You can see me.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right. Yeah, guys, I just want to thank you for your time very much. Like I was mentioning, this stuff is extremely powerful, and it only takes 1 or 2 top strategies. And really the key to this is to have it distilled down so that you guys can take a strategy and run with it. I can't tell you how many people, and I love Luke's story because he was like, you know, it's so easy for us to self-doubt like our possibilities. Like when I was #1 on Teespring and I sold over $1 million, don't think I was used to that at all. I was breakaway success like I had never seen, and I thought everybody was doing it. You know, I didn't put myself on a pedestal and was like, oh wow, I'm like #1 on this platform. I thought there must have been a dozen other guys doing it. And then later when I found out that I was several $100,000 ahead of the next of #2, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, I like totally sold myself short. And I think that a lot of us do that. And I just want to encourage you guys, like no matter how you're feeling, you know, to jump on and really just give it your all for one strategy. I can't tell you how many people were, you know, kind of doing so many things. They were trying to like optimize this thing and mix Facebook with Pinterest and do all these weird strategies because, you know, they were kind of getting pointed in a bunch of different directions by different mentors. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put the blinders on and I'm not even going to worry about optimization too much. I'm just going to focus on this one strategy, optimize kind of this one way that I knew. And I was way, way, way past the #2 in line. And like I said, I didn't even know it. And so, again, that was like a big thing that I took away from these masterminds is that everybody at these masterminds that paid, you know, $5,000 plus to be there walked away super, super happy because even if they just got 1 or 2 really strong pieces of knowledge because they knew that they were getting it from the tip of the wave, because that's the trick, right? Is if you learn a strategy that worked last year or worked 2 years ago, maybe that strategy was worth a lot back then, but now it may be worth nothing or it may be worth less than nothing because you might lose money from it. And so, you know, with this stuff, I can guarantee you that this is going to be the 1 or 2 or 3 things that you can take away. I break it down into, you know, just very basic details so you can follow it step by step. I like to say push the purple dinosaur easy. You know, it's like push the purple dinosaur. Okay, boom, push it. Just really, really, really simple because that's, even if you're a complex person and you're smart, it's always more fun to learn an easy way. Like why make stuff more complicated than it is? So I take these key strategies that people are running with right now, like the agency model, like the digital plus physical model, and I break it down for you in step-by-step, push the purple dinosaur, easy detail, so that you guys can follow along. Like I said, no matter what skill level you're at, you'll be able to get in and be profitable with this stuff and save yourself thousands of dollars. I mean, this class is going to go up to $2,000 right after this promotion. So just in about 2 or 3 days, the only price you'll be able to pay for it is $2,000, and I can promise you it'll be worth it because the information is like literally the best distilled information from not only my experience as someone who's sold millions of dollars, but also just recently from having these masterminds and being able to, you know, pull the best information from the best guys that are doing this high level. So I absolutely agree with Luke. If you're looking to just make a little bit of extra money on the side, this is going to help you get there. Absolutely. But if the thing, you know, if you put the blinders on and the thing takes off like wildfire, you know, don't sell yourself short, because, you know, I would have never thought that, you know, I could have done the numbers I did, or been #1 in the world on a big platform like that when it was booming. And it was just really focusing in, you know, it's focusing in on the one strategy that you really like, you know, getting to know that whole strategy and running with it. And actually, I'll tell you one quick story and I'll pass it back to Luke, because I know everybody's time is valuable, but I was actually had the original sign-in book from the second Hyatt Hotel. My dad was the president of Hyatt Hotels back in the 50s. He was actually one of the original founders. And so I had this book that everybody signed when they went to the second hotel, which was built in San Francisco in 1959. And I was really excited to donate it to Hyatt because they're, you know, a huge company, and the chairman was worth like $3 billion, and the fortune actually got split up amongst like 15 kids, and so there was like 15 kids that were all worth like 2 or 3 billion, and so this huge fortune. And this guy who was the chairman, you know, controlled the whole thing. So it was like a $20–30 billion fortune that this guy controlled. And I was super excited to donate this book to him because it was like something you could give a billionaire that they couldn't buy. And it had so many like cool pictures in it. It was, I mean, now Hyatt has, I think, right around 700 hotels worldwide. This was the second one. So it was the second one that was ever built. And all the original people that signed, that stayed there, and all the pictures and stuff. And so I went and donated to him, and it was really awesome because just giving a billionaire something they can't buy is like one of the coolest things you can do. But he spent like a few hours with me just talking, and I was in my early 20s at the time, and I was asking him for the secrets of the universe, you know, from where he sat as a, you know, as a guy that was running a, you know, multi-billion dollar corporation. And the one thing he told me was, know everything about your business. And he told me a story about my dad, who was like fixing the air conditioner. He was like the president of Hyatt at the time, and the air conditioner went out, and he was down on his hands and knees, and he had a full suit on with alligator shoes apparently, and he was, you know, down on his hands and knees, and he was fixing the air conditioner, and it was because the guy couldn't be there for, you know, too long, and they didn't want to wait, and somehow my dad knew how to at least get it running. And I really like love that story, and I took it to heart, and I was like, you know what, whatever I do in my literally from that moment on, I was like, you know, whatever I do in my business, whatever I focus on, I'm going to know everything about it, start to finish. So if it's Facebook ads, I'm going to know the design, or I'm going to know at least how to outsource it. I'm going to know how to run the ads. I'm just going to know it start to finish. I don't need to know everything in the world, but whatever I'm focusing on at that point, I'm going to know at least A to Z of whatever that process is. And that has helped me more than any piece of advice I've ever gotten. And it was one of his, and that's why I asked him. I said, you know, what's the biggest piece of advice you could give me? And he gave me 2, but that was one of them. And it was the best piece of advice I've ever gotten. And so I just encourage you guys, like in this course, I take that same methodology to heart. I break it down A to Z, very simple, so that you guys can take a single strategy, you can go with it A to Z, and you can experience that success. And because, you know, it's how my dad did it, it's how he said all the executives in Hyatt do it, and I'm sure it's a system that goes for all successful people. I mean, to know it A to Z, and to be able to take it from, you know, 0 to profitability, I mean, that's the key. And again, to not be distracted about all the things along the way that's like, oh, what about Pinterest, or what about this new social thing over here? And just staying focused on a single strategy, because you know, I had a lot of success from it, and I feel like it's the best way that you can get in the game as a beginner and have success. And so anyway, I just want to share that with you, and I'll pass it back to you, Luke.
If you guys can't, like, if that doesn't sell you on getting motivated as hell, I don't know what will. I'm going to go back and watch this replay of that little talk just then over and over. That was awesome, Mike. I really appreciate that. First of all, before we give away some cash to finish this up, let's give Mike, actually before we do this, I'm going to put the link one more time in the chat box if you want to jump into it. It's Apparel Academy Pro. I think it's your screen's off now, so I'll chuck it down in the chat box one more time, guys. If you're watching it in the replay, I'm going to extend the bonuses for 10 more people, guys. That's it, though, and that's in the replay. And there's one left if anyone wants to jump here on this now live. In saying that, guys, what I wanted to do now is give away some cash. But if we can, first of all, give me a big hashtag thank you, Mike, in the comments here, and I'm going to choose someone here who's going to win $100. I'm going to randomly choose a big thank you, Mike, because that's what you get for staying at the end of this webinar, everyone. So keep it coming down. I'm going to randomly close my eyes and scroll through, and whoever it lands on is going to win $100. So let me just go and close my eyes. Hopefully it lands on someone. And it's landed on Chris Keller. Chris, you win $100. I'm going to send you my email. Actually, I'm sending you my email. Send me your PayPal email to my email. So Mark, if you're still there, I think you would enjoy all of those likes there. So there you go, Chris. There's $100 there for that. So and then the next $200, what I'm going to do is I want you guys, before we do this, I'm going to Snapchat it so you guys can actually see. 1 second. All right, guys, we just finished this social profit hour. There's Simon running away over there. But what I want to do is I want to see how everyone liked it today, and we'll follow that up in the next snap. So that one's done there, and Simon Harris, my JV manager, like to get in the background of it. So give me a big hashtag social profit hour if you enjoyed today's training, guys. Boom, look at all these social profit hours coming in, and someone's going to guys, you guys are killing it. And they just keep coming and coming and coming. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Now what I'm going to do is close my eyes. I'm going to land on someone. And Marius Larson wins $100. So Marius, I'm going to send you my email. And I'm going to choose a random, another random person here. Deb Smith, you win $100 as well. So I'm going to send you my email. Send me through your PayPal email there. That's $300 live for being here today. I appreciate you all so much for being here. Again, every single Wednesday, we do the social profit hour. Next week, again, it will just be me. I'm going to take you guys through some Facebook and Instagram ads training. Nothing to sell next week, pure value training. Again, this offer today that I'm sharing with you guys is the first offer I've shared in over a month and a half because, you know, I don't like to push things that don't work. I actually have this created for you guys, the one we're showing you here today. Mike went so far out of his way. If you can't afford it, you know, I understand sometimes that can be the case. There is a 3-pay option there though, but on the flip side of that, take the free training we gave you today. I'm uploading this replay to my YouTube channel. Watch the replay from last week. Implement the free training yourself and start getting some shit done if you are not doing anything yet. I know what it's like to get really overwhelmed sometimes and sit on your ass and you just think, okay, I'm just over this. I don't know how to do this. It all gets too much. But just start with something simple and take the simple steps and keep focusing on that one area you're wanting to go with. Don't let all these shiny objects get in your vision because that's when things get messy and before you know it, you're just turning in circles and not getting to the end result. Set a goal. This is what I always say, a dream. A dream is only a handful of goals away. You set a few goals, you're going to reach your dreams. People think dreams are unreachable because then they're always going to be a dream, and for a lot of people they are. But it's because they're not setting multiple goals. When you set multiple goals, guys, everyone knows you can achieve a goal. So do that. Stay focused. I hope I can take you on this focus journey with the Social Profit Hour every week. Make sure you're in the Facebook VIP group, which I'll send it to you guys real quick now. If you haven't already, I made a new Facebook group. And then make sure if you want to be a part of the Apparel Academy again, guys, make sure you jump into that as well. But let me get this Facebook group up if my internet decides to load. Here it is here. This is a free group for you guys. For anyone that gets in now, at the time of this webinar and replay, it will be free. In future, I am charging for this for new members, as I've got some pretty cool things coming out. But if you get into this now, put it in the chat box, request to join, you'll be in there for that. But again, Mike, appreciate your time. Everyone here who's come on live today, I appreciate your time as well. I will speak to you in the group this week. I will see you guys next week on the Social Profit Hour. I'll make sure my lighting is better with a bit less echoey sound. And until next time, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's time, and make sure you go out and take action on doing something today. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.